sea is a peace for me. It's quiet. But to be a captain is a big responsibility. It should, didn't want to even with the, knowing that we have a navy on board, he didn't want to stop. I like the sea.
Toy boats floating along in the shallow water off the Mozambican coast. Youngsters dreaming of adventure. Some imagine catching fish like their fathers with nets. Others may fantasize about landing more exotic creatures. Those with bigger imaginations dream of going further at sea as captains, exploring new lands. One man lived almost all of these dreams.
I started fishing when I was young. So I think I born for the sea.
As a young boy, Noah jumped, splashed and swam on this quiet beach in his hometown of Imnyambani like any other boy. He watched fishermen go out to ply their trade and return usually with plenty to show for their efforts. He also visited nearby Tofo Beach, where tourists, mostly Europeans and South Africans, came to relax and enjoy Mozambique's easygoing atmosphere.
The sea is a peace for me. It's quiet. I like to see the animals, the dolphins, the gongus, fish. I like the sea.
Perhaps he had a little too much fun in the water. His family sent him to the Kambini Catholic school to fill him with knowledge and discipline.
I did my secondary school in Kambini Secondary School, where the discipline was too hard. We used to wake up every day at 4 o'clock, went to farm. For us, that time it was difficult. We were very young, but now I understand that it was very good for us. It was very helpful. All of my colleagues who went to the same school, now they are successful professionals.
He was a good student and learned the basics. But he also learned to endure solitude, to exercise some leadership. And he would eventually put these lessons to use in his advanced education and his career.
I went to Russia in 1992. The government sent me for scholarship, so we didn't have so many choice.
Russia was a whole new world.
Yes, there were Africans all over Africa. Yes, all over. Not only Africans, but even for Asia, Latin America. Yeah, so there was a lot of people, and the only language to communicate was Russian. The time I was there, the people was very good, nice people at the time. I don't know about now. It was friendly, quite big difference. Russia is, well, was too cold, especially in Murmansk where he was. Even this, some Russian people, they don't like to stay in Murmansk because it's always cold. The light is not enough.
10 years in all, and he learned to speak fluent Russian.
It was for me very difficult because
The Murmansk State Marine Academy gave him a chance to earn degrees in deck and engine management. Among the disciplines he trained in were bridge team management, automatic radar plotting aids, oil tanker management, and carriage of dangerous and hazardous substances. But he didn't get a chance to try all of the local delicacies, like caviar, the Russian fish egg delicacy that can cost $10,000 per kilogram.
I don't remember because it was very expensive for us. So I cannot say that I remember caviar. I saw caviar on TV, but we didn't have money enough to buy caviar.
And this gave him the opportunity to have some memorable experiences and see some exotic lands. His decade of training qualified him to take charge of a boat right out of school. So he dived right in, so to speak, being put in charge of a craft that had just been purchased by a Mozambican company. That took him past European shores all the way down the Atlantic coast of Africa and around Cape Horn to Maputo. Becoming a captain seemed to be his destiny.
To be a captain is a big responsibility. You have to take a good decision to save the vessel, to save the people.
The biggest boat he captained was a 35-meter fishing boat with 24 people aboard. But he also helmed cargo boats, transport ships, and tankers. And it led to adventures both humorous and dangerous. He had a close call sailing from Cape Town in South Africa back home.
Then during the trip, I lost the power, and the vessel started taking water inside, and we were only four of us. I called for assistance. They come from helicopter from South African maritime authorities, and it was a very strong wind. They couldn't help me, so I continued sailing, taking water from using the basket.
After delivering the boat safely into Maputo, another crew took it out to sea just days later.
Three days later, we came to Durban, and I saw in the newspaper that the vessel was sunk and the people disappeared. So it was very, very, very terrible for me.
Noa's time captaining ships gave him a broad knowledge of the vessels that sailed the Mozambican waters. He was chosen to be responsible for over 20 boats in an 8-year span. His friends and colleagues considered him an expert at finding rich fishing areas. Fishing has not only been important to Noa's career, it is an important industry for so many Mozambicans. According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, around 100,000 Mozambicans are directly employed in this sector.
The economic effect to have a well-functioning fishing industry is huge to the country. So I think that it's a sector that should be seen as a priority in order to fulfill its past contribution in the country.
And Mozambicans like to eat fish.
2/3 of Mozambican people are living along the coast. And Mozambican eat fish. According to some FAO data, we have to eat 18 kilograms per year. Mozambique is almost over 9 kilograms per year per person. Other countries are much down. So we are a little bit in front on the fishing consumption.
In Maputo, fishermen used to go out in the middle of the night and fish for 12 to 16 hours at a time. Now they go out in the morning, complaining about what a struggle it is to make a living. They work hard to keep their nets in good shape. They spend long, tedious hours at sea. And often come back with a meager haul.
Isso aí já é que é muito difícil. Por cada dia que vamos tirar 5 caixas, às vezes tiramos mais que 5, 10, 15, 20. Então isso já por enquanto para saber.
One threat to fishermen's livelihoods is illegal fishing. From industrial fishers coming too close to the shoreline to artisanal fishermen using mosquito nets so young fish can't escape, fish have been scooped up without regard to the future. A 2012 report for the United Nations noted that the degradation of key habitats were happening due to dynamite fishing and the use of mosquito nets. The report also said it is difficult to see how the specter of too many fishers, too few fish can be avoided in this region.
Some people are doing illegal fishing because their salary is depending on how much tons they bring to the company. You don't pay the license. Illegal fishermen, they never report what they catch in certain areas. Consequently, for the Fish Administration, they don't have data for management of the resource.
There's a difference between what you consider like industrial fisheries, artisanal fishing, and semi-industrial fishing. We're still facing problems on that. Yet, we are, for instance, I'm going to tell you, for instance, for us as industrials, they are not allowed to fish before 3 miles. So in the resources like prawns, for instance, that is giving the industrial sector, huge problems.
When certain species are caught, it can be bad for Mozambique's thriving tourism industry. Tourists come to see specific fish.
On the winter, most of the time to see a humpback whales. I know some countries doesn't have any sea. When they come here and they found the sea, our beautiful sea with the waves, they just want to experience, to see those manta rays, 7 meters manta rays, dolphins, turtles, because our sea, it does have pretty much everything. Not all, but most of the things that people that really want to see in a dive.
By 2007, Mozambique was seeing a dangerous drop in the number of fish being caught. A 2006 United Nations report by the Southwest Indian Ocean Fisheries Commission claimed that only 25% of the fish stocks in the region were underexploited, and most species were considered fully or overexploited. something needed to be done. It was about this time that Noa decided to stop answering the call from many large boat owners to captain their craft and join the fisheries ministry. Due to his long experience at sea, he soon became the head of the Mozambique Fisheries Ministry Surveillance Department. While he was with the government, he got interested in using technology to aid his efforts. The Vessel Monitoring System, or VMS, allows law enforcement to identify ships, their flags, their size, their purpose, and whether they are licensed to operate in Mozambique's territorial waters.
VMS is a device which is fixed in your vessel, and this device is communicating with the satellite. From the satellite, the information goes to some monitoring center somewhere, so I can see all vessels in our zone in real time.
Mozambican territorial waters are split into two zones. 0 to 3 miles out is for artisanal fishermen. 3 miles and beyond is for industrial fishing vessels.
Before VMS, it was a dispute between fishermen. Sometimes the big vessel come inside 3 miles, and the small one are complaining. And sometimes small one go to outside, and the big vessel cut their nets. But now with VMS, we can control. If I see the big vessel within 3 mile zone, he will be penalized. So that kind of conflicts are not anymore existing because of the VMS.
VMS was just beginning to be used in North America by 2015. So Noa and his African counterparts have been on the technological cutting edge for almost a decade. Noa also worked hard to build trust and cooperation with his neighbors. South Africa, Madagascar, Seychelles, Mauritius and Tanzania all work together with Mozambique to monitor the vast area they all border. Joint patrols were organized. Communication was streamlined despite some language differences.
In the last 5-7 years, IUU fishing in this area, I can say is completely down. Yeah, because we have very good communication with us, between us. If someone if some patrol vessel, let's say from Madagascar, see a strange vessel, they could call me and ask me, listen, Noah, I see here a vessel with this plate number. Do you know this vessel have license from Mozambique? Then I go in my database, I check. I said, no, this vessel I don't know. We can confiscate it.
Local fishermen were organized to report illegal activity.
Nós não fizemos nada, só metemos a queixa na associação. A associação é que resolve. Nosso desejo para eles não aparecer é só a associação tentar resolver esse assunto.
And the final weapon in Noa's arsenal against illegal fishing was patrol boats.
She was fishing without the license. So we sent at that time we had a small patrol vessel, 27 meters.
Stand up. No, one peep. Stand up. Yeah? Coming. Turn around.
We send the vessel outside. We confiscate the vessel, bring here.
Yeah?
We fined him $4 million. He didn't pay the fine, and we confiscate the vessel, the fish, and we send back the crew.
But the job was not without its perils. This caused Noa to enlist protection from Mozambique's navy and police force.
All our surveillance activities, we are working together closely with the Navy and sometimes with the maritime police. Why? Because sometimes they have to protect us. Sometimes police has to use arms to protect the spectators.
Still, there is drama.
I had that kind of situation some years ago. We stopped one Asian vessel. He didn't want to stop. We shoot. He didn't want to even with knowing that we have a navy on board, he didn't want to stop. So it's, sometimes it's dangerous.
But Noa feels it was worth the risks, and he is proud of his achievements with the Fisheries Ministry.
I feel proud because before we start implementing the VMS, before we had our patrol vessel, it was common to have information from even from our local fishermen saying that in night time we see huge vessels, big vessels coming inside our waters, and during the day they go out. So that was embarrassing us. It was very bad for us. But since we started implementing the VMS, since we started operating our patrol vessel, that kind of information, I can say zero.
While he is quick to credit the VMS system for his success, Noa also praises other technology that has improved safety and performance at sea.
In the fishing vessels, we have several kinds of technologies. We have different kinds of vessels. We have vessels we have trawlers, we have long liners. So each vessel uses different technology. For example, in trawl fisheries, they use mostly trawls. They use echo sounders. They use sonars. And for long liners, we use different other kinds of technologies. But in the end of the day, all fishermen, they use technology.
Noa has had his share of long absences from home.
Sim, nessa altura já era marinheiro e viajava muito. Para onde não cheguei a saber porque ainda era muito novo. Mas eu sei que ele passava muito tempo, às vezes 6 meses, e a minha irmã reclamava por isso.
His wife, Monica, has stuck by his side, although it hasn't always been easy.
Posso falar em português, né? O trabalho que ele já teve, que é bocado difícil, né? Foi difícil para mim.
It was love at first sight after being introduced by friends. After meeting her just once, Noa took advantage of a break at school in Russia to rush home and tie the knot. He praises her as a great cook. And what does he like to eat?
I like fish. I used to eat fish at least 4 days per week.
The marriage has given him 3 daughters. His second daughter, Ayla, wants to see the world much like her father. And some of the adventures she craves involve the sea.
I would like to sailing over an ocean, yes, and see dolphins, yes.
His eldest, Sheila, hopes to join Noa at his current company when she graduates. She has been studying public administration. Sheila would not be likely to get a position as a captain like her father in today's Mozambique.
Well, here in Mozambique, we don't have women in the vessels. But when I was schooling in Europe, we had women in the vessels. Even now in South Africa, they do have women in the vessels. But here, you know, our maritime schools, I can say that they are not full operating now. They are not full training people. That's why, if they was continuing to train, I believe we should have now women captains.
She admires his abilities as a manager.
He knows how to boss. He knows how to boss, and with his colleagues, he has a good relation. So I think we could have a good relation too.
See.
His daughters all say he has traveled too much, and they're happy that his current job keeps him home most of the time. They appreciate how he has tried to instill very important values in them.
He teaches, but we must work to, if we want something, we must work, because the things doesn't come easy or free. So he is a good worker. He works hard.
Noa is now an executive with Ematum, a government-owned company that has acquired funding for a very big fishing project. They plan to catch tuna and have purchased many new vessels. They turn to Noa to organize the project because of his vast experience on land as well as at sea.
I'm working in this position because I have experience at sea. I have experience as a manager. I was working as a surveillance manager, a surveillance head of department. So I know all the situation happening at sea. I know the situation happening in land. So this combination of knowledge helps me to be in this position.
As he looks off into the immensity of the sea, he often feels a tug at his heart. Beckoning him to more adventures over the oceans. His name, Noah, like the biblical character who filled an ark, seems to indicate his calling. For now, Noah will keep his feet on the ground, spending time with his family and helping others learn more about the seacoast that he loves to call home.